Hey, my name is Ray, and in this video, I'm gonna go over how to change the motor mounts on a ND Miata, both passenger and driver side. So let's go. Here's the thing. So I already changed out the motor mounts and I didn't film any of it. So I'm gonna just go over the theoreticals and everything that you need to do this job. But it is very easy and it's very possible to access both of the driver's and passenger side motor mounts on the ND Miata. Okay, so here's the thing. Step one, you jack up the car down here from the bottom and you're going to locate the subframe. The subframe is a small black bar just in front of the covering for the oil pan. I do suggest looking up a picture of that on Google because it's hard for me to show when the car's on the ground. Okay, then the next step is once the car is above, jack stands on the pinch welds that are gonna be right down here. There's little metallic pinch welds that you can put the jack stands on. I suggest getting like a rubber mount on top of the jack stand to jack up both sides here. And then the next step from there, both of the wheels have to come off. If you're gonna replace both of them, you have to take both of the wheels off. I suggest while the car is on the ground, you loosen the lug nuts on both sides because once it's in the air, it'll be easier to take them off. Okay, after the car is in the air and the wheels are off, the only other thing you need to take off is this trim. It's one big piece. And then there's another trim. This is on both sides. There's another trim piece that will reveal itself. That is right here. This thing right here. That you're gonna take off after taking this big piece off here. So once the wheels are off and the trim piece here and the little trim piece that's right there is off, you will be able to access the motor mounts. Okay, so that's the motor mount. You see the thing with the yellow thing on it? That is the motor mount. So the way that you do this is you're gonna take a 14mm wrench, and you don't have to disconnect any brake lines. I thought that's what I was afraid of. You have to disconnect the brake lines, whatever. No, you don't have to disconnect any brake lines. Just be very careful when you break them loose. Use like a wrench, like a 14mm wrench to get the top bolt loose. And then once the top bolt is loose, you can unscrew the top bolt. Don't do the lower 3 bolts on the subframe for the motor mount just yet, because what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to take once the car's on jack stands, you're going to have to take the hydraulic jack and you're gonna have to put a piece of wood on it. Okay, but before you do the piece of wood on the jack, you're gonna have to take the metal cowl off that protects the oil pan. It's the cover that's right behind the subframe. Man, I wish I could be like way more detailed with this. I'm doing it after I did all of this, but I just have to explain it as best as I can. The main points is you don't have to disconnect any brake lines. You don't need to do anything special. You just need a 14mm wrench, a 12mm and a 13mm for the cover of the oil pan. And then once the cover of the oil pan is off, what you do is you take your hydraulic jack that's underneath the car's already up. Take the hydraulic jack, put a piece of wood on it, and then roll it underneath the oil pan, and the block of wood is facing this way. And all you do is you jack up the hydraulic stand with a piece of wood on the oil pan on the side that you're doing. Let's say you're doing the passenger side first. You put the piece of wood until it hits the oil pan, and then that's it. You just support it. Don't crank the hydraulic jack and like try to lift the engine. No, you just want to support it. What you do then is you undo the bolt that is on top of the motor mounts. You can take it off. Now that the engine is supported, you can take off the top bolt. And then what you do, once the top bolt is gone, what you do is you undo the 3 bolts on the motor mounts that are on the subframe. These 3, they're all 14 mil. Loosen those, crack those loose, get them off. And then once you get the motor mount free, you can take the jack that's going to be here, gently lift the engine very slowly, literally like this much, and the engine will come up like a ½ inch at most. That's going to be enough for you to slide the motor mount out, and then you replace it with a new one, and you just do everything in reverse. The only tricky one is going to be the driver's side motor mount, because the steering rack is in the way. Now, you don't have to do anything special. You just have to be ultra careful when you undo the 14 mil bolts on all of the sides. I was struggling with the side a little bit more because I could get the wrench on it, but you needed to torque it a little bit. So what I did is, a lot of the times on the hydraulic jack, the handle is like a 2-piece handle, and you connect them, and they're basically like 2 hollow cylinders, right? What I did is I just took the top hollow cylinder and I put it on the wrench, and I gently broke the bolts loose. That's all you have to do. Once the bolts are loose, you take them off, same thing. You take the top bolt off while the engine is supported by the piece of wood on the oil pan. Once the top bolt is off, lift it up literally 1/4 to ½ inch. Undo the 3 bolts in the subframe, take the old motor mount off, put the new one in, and just do everything in reverse order. Do the trim in reverse order. Well, first a small trim, then the big trim, then you put the wheels back on, then you put the car down, and then you're good to go. I wish I could be a lot more illustrative with how you do the motor mounts on the ND Miata, but there's literally one video that exists of a guy just doing the passenger side. And then when I got to the passenger side, I was like, oh man, like steering rack, here's the trick. This is not a fix to be afraid of. All you have to do is be very careful when breaking the bolts. Take all the time you need, because you don't want to hit the steering rack, you don't want to hit the brake lines. As long as you just carefully take the bolts off, changing the motor mounts on an ND Miata 2016 and above is not a problem, and is one of the biggest quality of life updates. This is a 2016, right? So it's one of the biggest quality of life upgrades or maintenance items you can do on the ND Miata. And once you do that, the car drives like it's a brand new car. So I hope you guys enjoyed that quick tutorial, which I literally just went through by explaining the steps, but at least explaining the steps is better than not having a video to reference at all. The entire time I was putting off the fix because I didn't think I could do it. And before, I didn't have that block of wood. I thought I could just use a rubber puck. You don't want to lift the oil pan with just a rubber puck that's like a central force. You want to distribute all of the force evenly on the piece of wood. So I literally got as far as supporting the oil pan. I took off the cowls on one side all the way to access the bolts on the motor mounts, and I literally I was like, oh my god, like I do not want to be like stopping, but I had to reverse everything already because I didn't have the block of wood to support the oil pan, and I'm not taking that risk. So make sure when you support the oil pan, you do it with a piece of wood that's like, it's like a 2x4 that's maybe like a foot long. That's it. That's all you need. That will be enough to support the engine. Do not jack up the hydraulic stand on the oil pan when the top bolt is still on. You want the top bolt off because you don't want you're gonna bend the oil pan, right? So you don't want to do that. So the reverse order is very self-explanatory, but yeah, I hope this video helped in theory. And the moral of the story is don't be afraid to do the motor mounts on your ND Miata if it's a little bit of an older model. Literally, this is a 2016. The way it drives and the way it looks, I mean, even with the steering wheel and everything, the car does not look or feel any different than a brand new one. So hope that helps. Thanks. See you in the next one.